starting with the Norskins here, we're going to be looking at, a front line with a lot of Berserkers. We got the Brutes of the Hound, we have Marauders, more Berserkers, Marauders, Berserkers, and Berserkers. Behind them, we have some Javelins. Looks like we're going to have 3 of them. They're great against Hell Pit Abominations, Rat Ogres, those kinds of things. We're going to have a Deathcaster here. Deathcaster's going to have Spirit Leech. We're going to have Wulfric the Wanderer with Sea Fang, Hunter of Champions, and Fighter Die. Also going to be looking at a Feral Manticore and a second Feral Manticore on the other side, with some Marauder Chariot support and 2 Norscan Warhounds in the backlines, one of whom will be the Beast of Tashnar. Now for the Skaven, we're going to have Clan Rat Spears with shields, one on either flank, and then we're going to have some Skaven Slaves in the back line. Looks like 4 of them total with the Ixchus Triads. And it doesn't even look like the Skaven have quite noticed the Warhounds yet. And they're going to get a rear charge on top of the Ixchus Triads, but they're going to have to pull out quickly, otherwise they're going to suffer a ton of damage as the Rat Ogres come in. There's going to be 3 Rat Ogres total. Got some Skaven Slave Slingers, 2 Rattling Guns, and for the leadership, it looks like we're going to have Lord Skrulky Boy. Skrulk going to have both of his summons, Liber Babonicus, Rod of Corruption, Standard Ground, the typical loadout. Now Wulfric will just have to be careful with the Rattling Guns. But other than the Rattling Guns, there's really nothing that's going to be a huge threat to him. So, curious to see what happens, because if Wulfric can get into, the pocket of the Skaven forces, then he's just going to cause so much havoc. But of course, got to be careful when there's Skaven range units on the field. But as long as his micro is good, he should be able to utilize his Norscan Warhounds to try to pressure the backline and shut down some of these range units when he gets a chance. Meanwhile, here comes the Sea Fang, and Sea Fang going to go through the Storm Vermin. Oh! So both Storm Vermin getting hit real hard by that Sea Fang, and now it looks like it's actually going to be an even trade. Both Marauders are going to die, but the Storm Vermin taking a ton of damage in turn, and the Plague Call Catapult absolutely turning the tide of that frontline engagement. Otherwise, I think we're about to see the Norskins break through the Storm Vermin in the front line, and my apologies for missing them. They didn't realize there was 2 Storm Vermin and some Clan Rats with the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. Over here, though, a big loss for the Skaven. These Rattling Guns are shattered. We have a Feral Manticore on top of the other unit of Rattling Guns, and now the Mammoth is on top of the Plague Call Catapult, and we have the Norscan Warhounds routing them off. So a very nice move from Norsca here, as they have completely crushed the flanks and compromised every single Skaven unit now. Back here, looks like we're having some forgotten units for our Skaven player. That's a shame. These guys are desperately needed in the front line. Looks like they got the memo and they're going to be rushing back in. And over here, we're going to see the Plague Monk summon getting terror-routed by Wulfric. Wulfric has the Liber Babonicus getting thrown down on top of him, but he is going after Lord Skrulk now. And Lord Skrulk is going to be in a world of hurt pretty soon here. The Norscan Chariots continuing to dive around in the back line. And yeah, it's just looking like, to me, they've played this very, very well. They've definitely taken some damage, but I think most importantly is, as you can see, a lot of Skaven units on the field, but all of the important units in the Skaven roster are gone for the most part. Ixchus Triads and the Rat Ogres are going to try to get over here in time to save their Lord Skrulk, but I don't think they're going to be able to get there in time, and they probably won't withstand the terror from Wulfric here as he dives into combat against them. Uh-oh, Sea Fang coming in. Going to be going through the Mimics, as well as, or what are they, Doppelgangers, and as well as the regular Ixchus Triads. But Wulfric is coming into combat here. He has some Marauder Berserkers in here supporting him in his combat, and I think that's just going to be a GG and quite a convincing Norsca victory here in the first round. Skrulky Boy is trying to come back into the fight. There's a Spirit Leech going down on top of him from this Shaman Sorcerer of Death, though. And, yeah, that's the last thing in the world Skrulk wanted to happen. Plague Monk summon going down on the field, but at this point, army losses are going to be kicking in. Manticore is going to come over here and have Lord Skrulk for dinner. was some very nice play to tank. And not to take away from Energized, he's also a fine player. I just think his army was pretty well pulled apart here in this matchup. Lord Skulk getting one last Spirit Leech to help him on his way out, and that will be his doom. Lord Skulk is dead as a door now, ladies and gentlemen. A great first game, and excited to see what happens next. But as I was saying during the battle, you know, I don't think I need to spend too much in the post-battle because I feel like it was quite clear. But that initial Sea Fang absolutely crushed those Storm Vermin, and that was a huge play there to tank to get a very early lead in terms of the infantry power on the field. But most importantly there, I think you guys saw it was just you know, he was able to use his Manticores and Wolfric to get into the back line. I like that he didn't rush it. He was waiting until a lot of units were engaged, distracted, out of position, and then he rushed in there, and he was just able to completely murder the Rattling Guns, the Plague Claw Catapult. And as soon as those things were out of play, look at the rest of the Skaven roster. It's going to have a hard time killing a Mammoth. 205 kills on Wolfric. And not even just a Mammoth, but Marauder Chariots and 2 Feral Manticores. Without the firepower here, this Skaven army was very much hamstrung and going to have a struggle to win that fight, in my opinion. So, regardless, great game to both players, and let's see what happens next.